All right, well, I wanted to do a little change of pace for this video. She's running and driving. I've got it timed and fuel's good. So kind of give you guys a little bit of what I've done. So right away up front, got the intercooler coming up into the blow-off valve, into a Holly hat. I'm gonna change this line because I am not showing any boost on the gauge, and even though that's what this port is for, I think I need to actually plumb it into the intake manifold, so I'm going to be doing that. Over here, this is my pipe coming down and back. Excuse all the wiring, I was trying to chase out some gremlins, so rewired it all, just need to reroute it. I think I'm going to go through the fender and just close it up real nice, and that'll clean up all of this, and then get my wiring situated here. Gonna be putting a catch can in. I'm getting a little bit of blow by from my startup video. If you guys saw, there was some smoke coming from this side, and I think I'm just getting a little bit too much pressure inside, so I'm gonna run a catch can. Just gotta figure out where. That's gonna help siphon out some of that blow-by gases now that it's turbo on a 50-year-old motor without forged internals. Fortunately, low boost. This was mainly to set it up whilst I'm waiting for my stroker kit. But we'll come back and show you the turbos. So kind of went through, set up some gauges there. Doesn't look too far off of stock, but they're functional, they're needed. The trunk, so got my fuel cell, 20 gallons, because I took out the tank in order to put the rear mount turbos. I've got my oil tank, coolant tank, controllers for it. I have my feed pump and my coolant pump. So the feed pump is running pretty much the lowest it can, because what was happening is I had a check valve in the oil system and it was leaking by, and it completely filled up the inlet and outlet side of the turbo. So I had a panic attack as oil was dripping from both sides, and when I started up, I had it shoot all over my driveway. Still a little bit in there. If you can kind of see, there's oil sitting down in the bottom. But coming under, both turbos looking beautiful. So I have this fed all the way front. You can see the piping hanging down. It's about as high as I could get it. Then the intercooler, or the intake piping, this bend here, I'm gonna take it into a shop and have it brought up higher, but I need to cut out just a little bit from this piping, or bend it a little bit more, and I don't have anything that could bend the aluminum without risking splitting it somewhere. But there's my 500 feet of piping. So I think the lowest point that I measured was 6.5 inches, so it should be adequate. Couple drips here. I need to go through. This has been sitting here for a little bit now, but these couplings, you can move them, or these fittings, you can move them. So unless they're all the way tightened down, you get some oil. So there's the remnants of the E85 mixing with the oil that was in the exhaust. So I'm still getting a little bit out from this flange here. It's probably just sitting down inside. But there's my Y pipe from both turbos feeding forward. Now I see it, I need to adjust that air filter. It's hanging a little bit. These K&N filters, if you're grabbing them to put on a 4-inch turbo, they don't fit. I would not get them. I can't even push them all the way down on there. The lip is too much for them. So I need to probably figure out something to do with that, because it would be terrible to have that pop off. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this build. It's taken me about 2 weeks to do, so not too terribly long. This is not a kit. This is all fabricated by myself. I learned to weld as I was doing this, if you can't tell from my somewhat shoddy welds, but they work. They are leak free, so I'm happy. And then the plate up top here, this bar going up is just extra one that I have welded to a frame that the tank is sitting on. The only thing I really want to change is this drip tank and this pump. I want to figure out another place that I can route it without losing too much pressure. Maybe the tank a little bit higher, since I have this extra room. And then the pump, I want to somehow run to a frame, but I don't want it to backfill. So that's the hardest part. So we'll call that temporary right now. Also, if you get these cheap pumps, they work great. However, they leak from this cover here. So I have it with an O-ring and I have some silicone and it is still leaking. So what I'm going to do is tap out for bigger bolts that I can actually torque down because the screws are not enough. That's the primary issue. And they're cheaper material, so they want to strip. So before I strip them, I'm just going to deal with a little bit of drip and then drill it, tap it, and close it up properly. So, but I went with DS Racing ball bearing turbos and their wastegate and their blow-off valve. So they were pretty cheap, but this is a piston style, which even though this is a cheaper brand, the internals, the piston that goes inside is a lot better than diaphragm style. So I think these were 140 each. The turbos were 700, but I bought them from a very nice guy out in Oklahoma who sold them to me for $1,000 for both of them. So you know, awesome guy. Prior service, I'm active Navy, so really nice hookup. I know he took a loss with the money, but I'm sure he's happy to see him on something kind of cool and fun. But next thing, these exhausts. I don't like the way they look at all. I wish they were further out, but I have no room at all. So I have the tips to go on them. I'll do another video showing that. I don't want to mess with them now, but this is the progress and everything. So I will fire it up right now, so that way you guys can hear it and enjoy. Gotta open the oil valve.